Matt, you get the running back of the group this week, and tell us what you think about Akylin Deer.
Yeah, so he is currently RB2, 30th play overall, 5'11", 200 pounds, out of Quitman, Mississippi, and he is committed to Ole Miss currently. Um, he has pretty good straight line speed. I think that's probably the first thing that stands out to me. Uh, I was saying this before the show. He does kind of remind me a bit of CJ Baxter, who we were, probably a bit too high on, way back then, but that's all right. Uh, but with that, good straight line speed, pretty good, inside runner at times, makes some solid cuts, solid lateral movement in the box. I think once he pops it off to the second level, though, it's pretty much just all straight line speed and physicality. He's not really someone that's going to be shaking a ton of people in the open field. Kind of a guy that's just going to be going for that home run hit, which he does very successfully currently in high school. We don't have full stats. We do know he had 2016 rushing yards and 27 touchdowns as a junior. We don't know the yards per carry, but I saw one game stat line and he was over 10 yards per carry on over 300 yards. So I assume he's more than fine there. As I said before, 21.4 miles per hour, two-sport athlete with a verified 4.58 40, 10-foot broad jump, and a 5'10 squat. So checking a lot of boxes there athletically. We'll see how the whole Ole Miss running back room situation pans out. In the past, it's been a pretty good spot for production. I could feasibly see him getting the job there year two. If he does stay, they haven't really had the best of luck as late. But yeah, I'm a pretty good player. Will definitely be a top 10 running back. I'm not sure how high he'll go for me, though.
Yeah. David, I'll throw it to you. I mean, I don't know if you added. There's a few nice nuggets here under his profile on our show sheet. Was that you adding those? Because it looks like there's a little bit of positivity.
Yeah, I added some of the stuff there. I think he got really high marks for his performance recently at the Under Armour Atlanta camp, talking about his pass catching and stuff. There's only a few highlights on there, and we don't really have his full stats, so we don't really know what he did as far as a receiver. But apparently he ran really good routes and had really reliable hands. So between that and being able to run pretty hard between the tackles, there is a three down skill set there potentially for a workhorse type guy. I think just looking at his body, he is muscled up. He looks like somebody that could handle a full load for sure. I think his long speed, I don't know, it's good. It's not like elite by any means. You could see in like the last couple of highlights, guys kind of catch up to him a little bit. We got him at 21.4, which is definitely good. I mean, that's kind of what we talk about. We've talked about it a million times now, where it's like we're looking for guys that are 200 pounds that can hit 21. Generally speaking, that's like a good starting point. So athletically, he's kind of where we want to be. We have him as a 63rd percentile athlete in the database. Two sport athlete kind of holds him down a little bit in that regard. But yeah, I think he's pretty solid all around. Yeah, I don't know exactly how high. I think in our initial look ahead, I think I had him in my top. I think we all kind of had him around like RB5-ish in that area. So just want to see more. Want to see more pass catching work, just to see how much I can bet on that. And also, it's just another player here. All three of these guys play bad competition. That's the other part that's hard. But like if he's standing out in camps, like Alvin Henderson was at that camp too, and apparently he outperformed him like pretty significantly. So I don't know. I like him quite a bit. Ole Miss is just Ole Miss. I don't know. They just bring in so many transfers all the time. Like it's very annoying to me because guys just like skip ahead in line a lot of times. It seems like these older, more experienced players, and so that's just like an unknown that we just aren't going to be able to control. And it is what it is. And it's like hard for me really to bake that into my evaluation, really, honestly, because it's just we don't know. The times are weird with the portal. It's just kind of got to go with who you like, and if you like them, then just rank them wherever. So I don't know. I just think he's a solid all around back, and more kind of like a one cut, not like a super shifty guy, but like kind of one cut and go. So I don't know. I like him pretty much overall.
Yeah, and with the portal, it's pretty interesting because guys transfer in, go through spring practice, and transfer back out. So I mean, it's absolute madness right now with the portal. I do agree. Just pick the players you like, because if you think they're good and they are actually good, they're either going to win a spot on the depth chart or they're going to transfer to somewhere that's going to give them the ball. So I'm not too worried about landing spot. He is a hometown kid. You'd think maybe he'd hang around at Ole Miss. But, regarding his pass catching, I did make a note, and it wasn't a big, huge route down the field, anything like that. But there was a little kind of soft screen pass that he caught. But to me, it was the moment upon catching the ball, turning it upfield. We've talked about that before, kind of that like no wasted motion, catching seamlessly and turning it upfield. And it looked like he did that very natural with his movement there. It didn't look like he was struggling to catch the ball, fighting it or anything like that. I did make a note of that. That one play, I mean, it was just one play, but sometimes you can kind of just tell they feel comfortable doing that. So, and then if we're hearing reports otherwise, I think, we could probably say he's got that pass catching ability, which you like to see at over 200 pounds. I would like to see, his game is more like a guy I'd rather see at 210, 215. Maybe he puts on that weight, a little bit closer to 200. I'd maybe rather see a little more agility, ability to make a guy miss, rather than that straight line that we've been talking about with Deere. But I think it's not hard at all to see him like winning touches pretty early and, being a contributor right away in almost any running back room. And, from there, becoming a bell cow type thing. CJ Baxter is a decent comp, I think, who at the time, I think we had him RB1 in his class. And maybe that was too high, but I don't think he would have dropped behind like 3 to 5 in his own class, even kind of knowing what we know now, just because big and fast is the name of the game when you're talking about running backs. And so Deere has that. He has his physical building blocks. I think he can catch the ball. So I think he'll probably wind up top 5 for me by the end of it all. I like him. I'd feel very comfortable, with him on my fantasy team and just kind of watching that stock hopefully go up. So, all right, well, that is the 3 that we were going over tonight. We had Matt Zollers, who I think we all agree, nice and safe and probably high floor, going to play in college, and we're not too worried about that. Deuce Knight, a bit of a project with a high upside, but honestly, he could wind up at like Jacksonville State. I would not be shocked either. And then Akylin Deere, who, again, kind of seems more of that safe floor, going to be productive, maybe not the highest ceiling. Unless he becomes a big-time, receiving threat, and then that ceiling really improves. And that is certainly in the cards for Deere.